Welcome to another TSE single slider. This time we're going to provide you with an introduction to test clocks, a way to travel through time to see how long-running billing operations will unfold. Now you won't have to wait a year to see what happens when that annual subscription renews. Let's dive into an example. First, we'll create a test clock and define when it starts. Next, we'll create a customer associated with the test clock and create a subscription for that customer. Test clocks define a special block of frozen time separate from the normal flow of time in test mode. The customers associated with a test clock and their billing objects will only experience time passing when you explicitly advance the test clock's time. When everything is set up how you want it, you can advance the time on the test clock. You can choose any amount of time to advance the test clock up to 2 intervals for the shortest subscription associated with the test clock. Advancing time will produce the same artifacts that would normally have been produced in the amount of time you advance the test clock. Once the test clock is finished advancing, you can examine and test the results, including events, invoice changes, subscription changes, and so on. At any point, you can make changes and advance the test clock to test various scenarios. For example, you can upgrade or downgrade the subscription, add a credit balance to the customer, add a one-off invoice item, and so on. Some things worth noting about test clocks: they only work in test mode. Time travel in live mode is forbidden by both the Stripe product team and the laws of physics. With test clocks, you can only move time forward, not backward, although you can start a test clock in the past. Deleting a test clock triggers the deletion of the customer associated with it, their subscriptions, and so on. Remember that isolated block of simulated time we talked about? When the test clock is deleted, so is everything inside that block. Test clocks will automatically delete themselves 30 days after they're created. You also have the option to delete them manually when you're done with them. Finally, note that advancing time is an asynchronous process. Stripe systems require time to calculate what would happen when you advance time and produce the resulting objects and changes. The test clock's status will indicate if it's advancing or ready, and you can also monitor things using 2 test clock specific events: testhelpers.testclock.advancing and testhelpers.testclock.ready. So that's test clocks, your billing time machine for test mode. Now you can see what happens to a subscription over time on your schedule instead of waiting a day, a week, a month, or even a year. Billing clocks are publicly available now, and you can find more details in our documentation.